Day 82. I had a conversation with someone today about worthiness. It was a fascinating conversation. And she said she believes that everybody deserves everything that they want. And I agree with that completely. I believe that just because you exist, you're fully worthy of anything that you want. And every person is worthy of anything that they want to have. The only problem is that they don't believe that they're worthy. People will come up with so many things from their past and think that that's who they are now. And then they will bring their past into the now. The fact that you exist is the only thing you need to know that you're worthy of anything you want. Now, when you hear that and go, yeah, but I'm not, there you go. That's the problem. We've all been through many, many things in our past. And yes, there's some things we need to make up for, or forgive for, or apologize for, or whatever. But the only thing that decides worthiness is how much of your perception of yourself is based on who you are in the past. In other words, if you took the past out, you and Obama and a homeless person are the same thing. But a story of who you are, and a story of who Obama is, and a story of a homeless person makes you see yourself different. It rates you. You say, well, I'm more than this homeless person, but I'm less than Obama. Now, people at the surface might say, oh no, we're all even. But if you'd be nervous if Obama walked in the room, that's because you don't see yourself as worthy. And you don't see yourself as worthy because you see who you are is the story of your past. So many people think who I am is someone who makes this much a year and make $40,000 a year, which would mean you feel unworthy of making 10 million. If someone immediately offered you a $10 million job, you might immediately think, no, that's not something. You take your worthiness in there and you put it in there and you use that as a way to not accept something that's really amazing. Not that $10 million is, but use that with anything. Use that with the greatest relationship on the planet. I have a friend who is an amazing woman who wants to date this guy, and this guy, she says, is really amazing. In fact, he's a guy that she was really, really interested in for a couple months. She had seen him once and really kind of had this interest in him, and she really loved him, and she even wrote him and didn't hear back, and then he ended up writing her later, and they ended up talking, and it was just apparently an amazing connection. And she said that she hung out with him, and it was just so magic and he was totally interested, and she said she's just totally freaking out. And I realized and said to her, freaking out means you have something amazing in front of you. Right now, you have something so amazing in front of you. And if you're freaking out about it, it's because it's so wonderful. Everything I've ever wanted in my life, really wanted, that was beyond what I thought my worthiness was, I freaked out. I freaked out when I got Comedy Central. I freaked out when I booked 10 Things I Hate About You and Not Another Teen Movie. A couple of years ago, if I had booked Oprah or something like that, I would have totally freaked out. And it's because it's what I really, really wanted. And I created the illusion in my head that I'm not worthy of those things, because up until the day of Comedy Central, I hadn't done Comedy Central before. So I saw myself as not in alignment with that yet because I just didn't feel worthy. So I got nervous right before it. I freaked out. If you're freaking out about something, there's a very good chance it's because it's the greatest thing that could ever happen for you. It could be something that is so special and so magical, and so many people freak out just based on the lie that they've created for themselves of how worthy they are. And how worthy you are has nothing to do with who you actually are. Your worthiness is only rated based on your story of your past. So you might have had difficult childhood, or you might have had a story, or you might think you make a different income or have a different career or whatever, but you're really only this moment. And if you understand you're only this moment, you can feel worthy and understand that worthiness is not even a real thing. Worthiness is a lie. So if you feel unworthy of something or worthy of something, understand that that is a lie that you're making up right now as an excuse to not grow, because you're scared to grow. But if you listen deep down in your body and go to that place that I referred to from another video as deep down, you will realize that deep down says, I know deep down everything's going to be fine. I know deep down that I'm worthy of anything that I want. I know deep down that I can totally walk into any situation in my life and feel amazing. I know that deep down I'm unconditional love. I know that deep down everything in the world is mine if I allow myself to. And you don't have to look into deep down as a place to escape to. Instead, you could go live in the world of deep down. And when you do, the question of worthiness doesn't show up anymore. Through meditation, patience, leaping towards the things that you want, letting go of what you don't want, and moving towards a new life, deep down, in a video that I referred to in the past, is where you will live. And when you live there, worthiness and unworthiness and thinking you deserve something or don't deserve something amazing dies. And when you're in deep down, you can receive anything and you can be anything. So know that you're worthy of anything you want. And I don't care what your story of your past is. Yes, if there's something you did wrong and you need to apologize for it, or you need to serve time for it or whatever, do whatever you need to do. But understand that your mind is the biggest trap, and it tells you how bad you are, and it believes that all the things you did you have to repay everything for, when the truth is everything you did in the past you did because you didn't know any better, and you wouldn't have done it had you known better. So you don't have to spend this second continually feeling guilty about everything in your past or feeling resentful about everything in your past. You can forgive yourself, and you can know that in that love, you can heal yourself. And if you need to make up with someone else, or you did something to hurt other people, take care of that externally. Take care of those issues. It's not what I'm talking about. But you can know that everything in your past you did was truly the best you understood. And you might say, no, there was one thing I did and I knew what I was doing. But you know what? You still did it and then still got mad afterwards, which means you actually didn't know better because you still did it. And when you later learned the second thing, that lesson showed up after. And now you're this third person who thinks you should have known what you learned in the second phase at the first phase, but you didn't learn the second phase till you completed the first phase. So know that everything in your past is fictional, and it only exists in your head right now, and the only real problem is you're resenting it, and you're thinking your past should be different. But if you understand that you're just this moment, you suddenly don't rate the world as better or worse than you. You see yourself as a wide open heart of forgiveness and love and possibility and infinite power and just unconditional love for the world. And when you do that, you create a thing and you realize you are worthy of everything in the world. And you're worthy. You're worthy of anything you want. And when you go, no, I'm not, that's you in resistance to your past. You got to love your past. It's hard to love my past. Well, why would you ruin this moment? Why would you screw up this moment? Just so you can be mad about your past? The world needs you in your forgiveness. The world needs people to access their hearts and do what they are here to do and move into their highest calling and let go and move forward and mourn whatever you need to mourn and forgive yourself and forgive others. There was a thing I read once. It says, forgiving someone does not change their past. It changes your future. So know that you're worthy of anything But don't be in denial about it. Let whatever comes up come up through meditation and whatever, and let it come up. And don't resist it. Be with it. Let it go through whatever it needs to be in. And as you do that, you'll realize you're the space that's looking at the past, as I've said in other videos. And you're just this moment. And this moment can receive anything it wants. And you'll really prove to yourself that if you're worthy or not is not even a thing. Because you're just this moment. And anything in this moment is just love. And love can receive anything it wants. Day 82.